morning. Here today we are going to start a new chapter. This is material requirements planning. This chapter we do need to use the information from the previous chapter, especially the second practice in classwork associated with this chapter. Okay, and so started with a company profile. This is a wheeled couch, and this company is unique, produce unique product, which is the largest manufacturer of ambulance in the world. So it provides probably 25% of its ambulance product to international market. Is a strong competitor in this sector. So they have 12 major ambulance designs, but here the background of this slide, actually it is kind of like internal view of this ambulance. Is very complicated, and they can reorganize the design to be different type of options, like airplanes, like all the other manufacturing products. The customers can make their own options or choices to decide what do they want in terms of internal components. So, and they the overall parts or items they need is 18,000 items for the ambulance. They produce 6,000 inside of their house, and 12,000 purchased of from the other suppliers. As you can see, 2/3 of the parts they rely on suppliers, and then this will ask them to provide a good schedule control. So when do they want to order? Place the order, and then when they will receive the order. Otherwise, all the OEM company will be the hostage of the suppliers. It's very critical for them to control their schedule, their supply chain management. And they have 4 very important tasks that they want them to this company, in order to be success. First, their material plan must meet both the requirements of the master schedule and the capability of the production facility. So what is the master schedule? The company must design or plan ahead, and when they want the parts, or how many do they want. And also they need to consider their own kind of capacity, production capability, and then they will not waste, or they will not over order or over inventory. So in the second one, it is all the plans designed or made must be implemented as designed. So the company actually have a policy. In the recent 2 or 3 weeks, actually 14 production days, any of the plan will be executed as it is. So you cannot make the change in the recent 14 days. If you want to make any change, and you can only change the schedule, 14 days later. So that's their policy. The plan must be executed as designed. And then the next one, they want to control their inventory to be minimum. And also, we learned from the previous chapter, we know stock out is a situation if your inventory it is not controlled in a good manner, or in a good probability service level, and they have to maintain a good inventory and minimize their inventory investment. The next one, it is maintain the excellent record integrity. So monitor their inventory correctly, and they will do the kind of a quick update. Actually, this company, they do a daily based update about their inventory. So And after talking about this, introduce this company, now we want you to, understand what is dependent demand. So this, in this chapter, we consider all the production. So they need the demand. This demand, it is dependent demand, not similar as the previous chapter when we consider one or two kind of like items in the circular city or whatever the electronics store. We said the demand, it is independent. Okay, that means computer, a customer needs a computer is independent of the customer who wants to buy camera. And of course, the battery also, it is the battery demand, it is independent of camera, independent of computer. Here, we talk about this demand, it is and demand with it is dependent for any product for which a schedule can be established. Dependent demand techniques will be used. So you will see, if we want to produce like 20 tractors, okay, then you will need how many wheels. So once you decide how many tractors, you can calculate how many wheels you need, how many engines you need, how many like cabs, and even smaller as nuts and bolts. You can calculate how many parts will be needed. This is dependent demand. All right, and MRP represents material and resources planning. And this chapter with material requirements planning. And the chapter, another topic, it is ERP, is enterprise resources planning. But MRP, material requirements planning, is only part of enterprise requirement planning. So the benefits of material requirement planning, so will make the company to be able to have a better response to the customer requirements, orders. And also the company can be able to have a quick response to the whatever the market change. So you don't want to produce a lot of inventories, because inventory will eat all of the cash flow and occupy your the fund. So this MRP will also help improve the utilization of facilities and the labors, and making the products serve the customer need quickly and right on time. And of course, you will see in this chapter, we will do just in-time inventory. So we don't want to order so many parts at one time, and we only order the pieces and at the time it is needed. So it is just in-time approach, but there is a specific way to organize the just in-time strategy. So when we say dependent demand, this is the demand for one item is related to the demand for other item. I already made an example, say, so if you want to produce one tractor, but we can calculate, we can decide according to the specification or customer option, we can decide how many wheels, how big of the wheels, what is the engine, what is the power of the engine, and then what is the option of the, do they want a GPS system in their tractor? Yes, there. I know about 10 years ago, there were researches going on to have that high technology GPS integrated in the tractor system, and then they can control the tractor to walk or travel just along the specific road, a specific route, and do not hurt the crops when the tractor move around in the field. So this is the option. And but according to the customer's demand, we can decide, we can calculate for a given quantity for the end product tractor, the demand for all parts and components can be calculated. That's certainly we can, because we have the drawings, we have the specifications, and in this chapter, we are going to calculate what is the quantity for individual pieces down to A pieces, B, and C. So each individual pieces. So in general, this is used whenever a schedule can be established for an atom. So the MRP, it is the common techniques used in not only in manufacturing facilities environment, but also used in service industry and like the restaurants. Okay, they need to plan and what are the raw materials they will need Monday, Tuesday, or whatever the weekdays or weekends. And this is something about the technique used in multiple factors, multiple sectors in the market. So, but once you learn from this one example, you can enlarge and the example to be different conditions, even in like a service industry, pretty much the same technique, okay? And to be able to use or effectively use of the dependent demand inventory model, so we need the following kind of conditions must be in place. First, we need to understand or we need to design a very good or very reasonable master production schedule. The master production schedule is saying, okay, you need to tell the production crew when or what are the products they need to make and when they will finish this. So this schedule, and whoever make this schedule, the supervisors or the managers, they need to have a mind, okay, how long would be the lead time? How long would be the cycle time? So they have to give a reasonable schedule. And based upon, what is the production facility, how long the facility can be able to work, how many days, and working days, and each day how many shifts. So they have to have a kind of like a good picture. And another one, the second condition is all the specifications must be provided. Who will provide the specification? And who will provide the specification? I guess it is the design engineers and or the customer demand. You need to look at the customer order option, what module or what levels of product they want. So the third condition, it is inventory capability, availability at this moment. We have to have kind of like a quick update and to get the information. What do we have right now? And if we have 100 pieces already in the inventory, but according to the production schedule and according to the specifications, then we only need 20 pieces. Then you just order 20 pieces. So you cannot order 120 because whatever in the inventory, you have to consider. You don't want to waste the material over there. And then the next one, it is purchase orders outstanding. That means, because the production, it is ongoing in daily basis, And there are some purchase orders that have been made already. And you need to understand what are the parts have been ordered, when will they receive it. So all of this, and even include the, of course, lead time must be known, and when they have this, when they use this dependent demand inventory model. So the 5 conditions will help us to make the just-in-time, like inventory items, will help us to order the parts when it is needed. For master production schedule, and this is a big picture. Okay, they will tell what parts or what kind of like assemblies will be made and when they should be supplied. And this master production schedule must be coordinated together with aggregate production plan. So the aggregate production plan is a big picture. So for example, they just in our textbook it said there is a picture shows okay, the aggregate plan saying in January they only produce like 1,500 amplifiers, but they didn't tell what type of amplifiers will be produced. And for master production schedule, they tell, okay, 240 watts amplifier that will be produced in the first week and in the third week, and 150 watt amplifiers will be produced in the second and the fourth week, quantity as 500 each week. And 75 watt amplifiers will be produced in the third week. So this is the example to show what is the difference between the production, kind of like aggregate production plan, and what is versus master production schedule. And who will make the master production schedule? Who will make the aggregate the production plan? It is kind of like it's kind of like a picture like this. All of the people in the company, so include marketing information, finance information, even human resource, sales, and operations planning, and supply chain management. These will all provide information to the master production schedule. So pretty much it is the overall, like all the information integrated together, and then they can make like a master production schedule, because master production schedule need to know, okay, and I need to produce in the first week and the third week. It is 240 like watts amplifier, because the customer wants this, so they forecast what will happen. And then master schedule will tell, okay, in the fourth week, in the second week, they need like 500 pieces of the 150 watts amplifier. So these are tell us what will be made and when will be made. And of course, the amplifier is just not one single thing. You need a specific kind of like items or materials, and from the production schedule, we can make this material requirements plan. And this chapter, we mainly focus on, and it is the material requirement plan. So the next step is just to, according to the plan, and implement the plan step by step. So master production plan is established in terms of very specific products, and which is different from the aggregated plan. So the schedule must be followed for a reasonable length of time. Like in the textbook, they mentioned the Wild Couch, this company, they have the frozen period, which is 14 days. And in the recent 14 days, and nobody can change the production plan. So, and if you want to make any change according to whatever the customer's needs or some other kind of market fluctuation, you only can change 14 days later. So in the recent near 14 days, they cannot make any kind of change. This is called fixed or frozen time. And MPS is the rolling schedule. Rolling schedule, it means you have to update from what have been impacted by other factors. And MPS, it is a statement of what is to be produced, not a forecast or demand. So basically, it's a real production kind of structure. So the planning process I just mentioned already, we have to use the input from everywhere of the company, and including production, marketing, even accounting and finance, supply chain management, sales and operation, and human resources. Then we decide what is the master production schedule. And the next one, it is the specific material requirements plan. And in order to make a solid a material requirements plan, so we really need to use bills of materials. Bills of material is not new to many of us. So you all learned drawing 1, TAC 1024 or 2024, or some kind of a specification documents. So the bills of material actually is a list of components or ingredients and materials or sub-assemblies needed to make a final product. So some of the bill of materials very complicated, very long, and some of the material of bills of materials is simple, and it really depends on what is your subject. If you consider the overall tractor, you can build probably 100 layers of bills of materials. It's a very complicated one, but that's not a good way of making organization. So typically, they are going to probably, organize some of the parts together as a sub-assembly, and then you can reduce the complexity or the layers of the bills of materials. So the bills of material will provide the product structure. Will help us to understand how many layers of sub-assemblies included or components included. All the items above a given level are called appearance level. All the items, if they have something below, the items below given level are called components or called children. So here is the example about a speaker. The speaker, and it is A overall, and it's called A, it's assembly. To make 1A, the one speaker, they need to include 2 Bs and 3 Cs. Then 2 Bs consist of 2 Ds and 2 Es. Each of Cs has 2 F and 2 Es. Each F includes 2 Ds and 1 G. So this is the system, or if we look at the speaker structure, the product structure, and here it is clear. We under A, here B and C, and even and D, E, F, G, they are all called components or children, right? Because they are all below A. And for the A, you can call this as a parent. B is a parent. C and E and C and F, they are all parents because they have something like underneath the level. So it is a very important documentation for this structure, and it's going to help us to make the requirements, material requirements plan. So, for example, if we want to make an order of 50 speakers A, according to this structure, we understand, okay, now in order to make 50 A, you need to have 2 times of 50. So this is 100 piece of B, okay? And this structure is extremely important, and it will help us or determine and the dependent demand. So each A needs 2B and 3C. Now you have C is 3 times 50 is 150. But for D, when you look at over here, D it is in the level, D is under B, but D is also under F. So, and D includes 2 kind of like parts of information. So, in order to make 1B, you need 2 Ds. So now how many Bs? We have 100 Bs. We have 100 Bs, and then 100 B, you need to times like 2 times 100. So this is meet the requirement of B. But how about another D? D also depends on how many F, depends on how many C's. See, this is a kind of like a chain reaction. And to make like F's, 2 number of F's, but F's related to C. So for 1 C, you need a 2F. So how many C's we want? 150. 2C, 2F means 300. But to make the 300, you need a 2D. So that's why we have 2 times 300. This is the total D level. Total D level is not easy to count. Hopefully this will not confuse you. And so I want to use the highlighters to show you. Here include these 2 times 100 is associated with the B level. Here, B level. And another one it is the 300. 300 is associated with and the F level. Why F it is 300? Because to make 1C, you have 2 like F. So here it is 2 times 150. You need 150 C. Now this one it is 300. Actually, this 300 is connecting with this 300. So it is dependent. And the E level, E, it is associated with B. E, it is associated with C as well. So C and B. Okay, now we have E include 2 B's. 2 B's is 2 times 100. And 2 C's. So here it is in order to make one C, you need 2 E's. So 2 E's is 2 times 150. That's 150 representing C. Now totally we have E, it is 500. F, I already explained why it is F equals to 300. But for G is okay. G is only associated with F level, is like C level. Now, to make one F, you need one G. So here it is. And this one, the last one, it is a G level. So, and this is a good example showing the dependent model, like a demand model. And to make 50 speakers, and then we have to make a B, C, D, E, F, G. These numbers are all associated with the original original demand 50. Now, to make a good or accurate material requirement plan, we said we need to know the information about our current inventory level. So we need to count the inventory and as accurate as possible. So they said, okay, accurate inventory records are absolutely required. Yes. So we need to understand, okay, is a key component to decide whether you can have, you can implement your material requirements plan successful or not. So even said, MRP systems require more than 99% of the accuracy. So almost 100% accurate for inventory level. And the purchase orders are outstanding. That means we need to know how many parts are in order and when they will be delivered. So lead time, when will be delivered? Lead time is the time to get the piece, to acquire. So acquire, maybe it is, if it's produced inside, you need to know what is the production time, throughput time. And then if it is purchased, you need to know what is the delivery time. So from you place order until you receive order. So this is the lead time. And the lead time for manufacturing items, consists of move, or setup time, or assembly time, or machining time, or inspection time for each component. But for purchasing time, we said, okay, pretty much just from the time you place order until you receive the delivery. We still use the speaker example. And here we have the speaker. They said, okay, for making A, they need 1 week. For making B, the lead time is 2 weeks. So we are given all of the kind of like all of the lead time, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And from this, the individual pieces lead time, we can have the schedule of this, we call this as kind of like the system. So for example, we started from the end product. If A needs A will be produced in 1 week. So if this is the customer kind of like delivery time, okay, over here, you need to push 1 week to give 1 week for A's production. And because A needs B and C, so at this time, this deadline, and you need to receive B. Here is the receive point for like a C, but B needs 2 weeks. So here is the next layer. B is 2 weeks, and C needs like 1 week. Okay, from this chart we see, oh, B and B, because that means we need to start the B production or from the beginning of the, like 3 weeks ago. And you can receive this by the end of like 1 week ago. And then to make a B, and you need a D and a E. So we need to change to a different color to D and E. D needs 1 week, and E needs 2 weeks. So for B preparation, overall you need a kind of like 2 weeks, 2 weeks. The total time for B, it is 4 weeks. And for C, we, each C needs like E and F. So E is 2 week, F it is 3 week. But for F, we need both and G and D. So this one, it is, if we change the color, is over here. And it's saying, okay, for the C production, actually we need 7 weeks. For B production, you need, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 weeks. And in order to produce the overall kind of like speakers, we need to consider the total time, it is 8 weeks. So this is the timeline or the lead time for components and for the assembly together. You can have this, this is like a picture or structure over here. And then we can use the information of lead time and use the information of the demand level. We can provide a growth requirements plan. So let's say, and the next one, it is a simple growth requirement plan. So this one, a lot of like softwares now are available in the market. And you can, so basically it's for industrial engineer majors, and they can make this master production plan. And from the master production plan, they can specify the MRP requirement. So, but here I want to show you an example of using Excel to provide a kind of like gross material requirement plan. And this one will show you 1 unit of A and how you can organize the components B, C, D, E, F, G in the rest of the weeks. The total lead time, it is 8 weeks. But to prepare all the documents, you need 7 weeks. Let's go, I'll open the Excel at e-learning. Go to the first tab. And this is a little bit complicated kind of like Excel work. That's why I provided the result already. I don't want you to use the result directly. I want you to follow with me and to understand the logic behind these numbers and data. Okay, here's the first one. It is associated with this one, gross material requirement. And so here is each speaker kit requires all the items in the product structure for A. The lead times are already given. So using the information in example 1 and the lead time table, construct the gross material requirements plan with a production schedule that will satisfy the demand of 50 units of A by week 8. So this Excel include a kind of like two parts. The first one, I call it is a kind of like if we want to produce and 50 pieces over here. So this is in the 50 pieces in week 8. You want to provide it to customer, and because it just need 1 week of production or assembly, and you want to make sure you have the one it is require data and the order and received data required. So that means in 8th week you will require 8 pieces. Here is saying, and in 7th week, okay, in the end of the 7th week, you need to release this kind of like a production data, and then they can start to produce. So that's in the end of the 7th week. And here you can produce the 50 pieces, and in the end of the 8th week. It's going to take 1 week to finish the production. Okay. For B because B needs how many B we want? Each A will require 2 B. So this one, you need 50 times 2 equals to 100. And 100, so this is in the end of this this week, you need 100 pieces. But what is the production lead time? 2 weeks. So you need to skip 6 and release the order in the end of week 5. And C, look at over here. C, it is 1 week. And another one, it is C. You need how many C's? You need 3 C's. So that's why it is 150. It should be in the end of week 7 as well, because to produce A, you need to get B ready, C ready. And C, lead time is 1 week. So that's why it is in the week of end of 6th week. Week 6, now you need to release the order. Release the order and tell them they should start to produce C. And now the next one, it is E. I skipped D a little bit. So let's first go to E and to look at E, how many E's needed over here. So to make 1B, you need 2E. So 1B need 2E. So here it is B level. And this one should be according to the product structure, you need 2 times of B. So it's 200 pieces. You need to receive E in the end of week 5. And for E, how many weeks you need for the lead time? E is showing, okay, it is 2 weeks lead time. And in order to receive by the end of 5th week, now we need to put this one, production release order should be in the end of like a 3rd week. So 200 over here. And we said from the structure table and the structure diagram, we see E also associated with C. And this C is 150. How many E needs to produce 1 C? We need 2. So this one is 300. 300, you need to get this ready by the end of week 6. Production needs 2 weeks lead time. So the production order will be released by the end of 4th week. So even though they all need B, they all need kind of like, so here we have the E level. So this is the F level. F82 is end of like 3. F is how many weeks? F it is 3 weeks. So I did the wrong one over here. So this 300, it is put over here because they need 3 weeks lead time. Here, order released in the end of 3rd week. So 1 week, 2 week, 3rd week, 3 weeks later in the end of 6th week, they can get F. So we can look at a D and associated with the B, this D is associated with B. And how many pieces? To make 1 B, you need 2 Ds. So where it is B level. And this B level, it is 100. So to get this 100 ready in the end of week 5th. So this is 200 over here. And the lead time, it is 1 week. So the order will be released in the in the end of 4th week. This is D. That's the 200 pieces associated with B. Also, we have D associated with C, we associated with F. And because when you look at the diagram, this D associated with B directly. So its starting day or get ready for B should be matched up with the B's level. B should be, you need this in the end of like 5th week. So D, it is 1 week, now it is 4th week. But also we have another kind of like D. This D, it is associated with the level of F. So where it is F? F is over here. And to make 1F, you need 2D. Now we need 300F. We need to prepare 600 D. D, it is the lead time, it is 1 week. So the order should be released in the 2nd week. And the next one, it is G. G is associated with F. We will see where it is F. F, it is over here. How many how many G we need? Exactly 300. 1 G associated with 1 F. So 300 over here. 2 weeks production time, lead time. So you need to release the order in the 1st week. So here it is the overall material planning requirements plan. So from the 1st week to the 8th week, but actually the working logic starts from 8th week back to the 1st week. So it is the backward ordering process. Why we do the back order process is because the just-in-time procedure. To make the just-in-time, and then we need to consider, I don't want to order B, I don't want to order D exactly how many we need D total. We need D totally 800, but I don't want to make the order at one time. Instead, you order D, and in the week of second week, in the week of fourth week. So this is the just in time. You want the parts to be delivered at the time they are needed. Okay, here this one. If you look at this, it's more complicated. And I don't know, maybe I should make this a little bit larger for you to see. That's the best I can do in this computer screen. And here, if you look at each of the items, A, B, C, D, E, F, and D, G are over here. But here, this example, it is we consider the items already on demand. In the previous practice, the Excel, we do not consider anything inventory you have. But here we have A, 10 pieces, B, it is 15 pieces, and so on and so forth, to see how you need to plan your material. So for A, you need 50. And then because we have already have something in your hand, in your inventory, now actually you only need 40 to be produced, right? 40 to be produced over here. This 40 equals to, actually equals to 50 subtract 10. If you want to do the calculation, that's fine. So equals to 50 subtract the something in hand. And the planned order received, so we need to receive order 40. That's exactly same. And the net requirement. So it is 40. And because you need to receive 40, you need to produce, okay, give the order, it is in the week of 7, you need this 40 as well. So this is the first one. And for this one, it is a B requirement, but we have the hand, in something in hand, it is 15. Okay. This one, how many should be produced? If we need to produce 40, now we need 80, right? Equals to 40 equals to this one times 2. And because we already have like 15 at hand, then your net requirement should be 80 subtract 15. If you want to receive 15, so you need to, so this is receive 15. And then what is B's production time, lead time? 2 weeks. So 2 weeks, if you want to receive 65 components in the end week, in the end of the 7th week, and the order should be released in 5th week. So this is for B. And for C, this is 120. 120 actually is equals to 3A. Here actually equals to 2A. And the next one is the net requirement equals to scheduled and receive and minus what you have. And that means we need to produce 100 pieces. And the lead time for C is 1 week. So you need to receive order, place the order. And okay, here I think we need to plan the order received. This one should be exactly 100. And then this one should be 100 planned. You need to release the order in week of 6. And this is part E. Part E, you have, it is, part E, it is associated with both B and C. So needs 2 B's and 2 C's. 2 B's, if we need to produce 2B over here, for E, if we need to prepare the material for C, it is 100. Now you need to have 200 because 1 C needs 2 E's. So that's why it is 200. It is equals to, actually equals to this one and times 2. Okay. And then scheduled receipt, the night requirement should be 200. And the order received should be 200. And this one, it is saying how many weeks you need to prepare for E needs 2 weeks. So here, this one, it is 200. And because E not only associated with C, but also associated with B. So for B, it is 100. You need 1 B needs 2 E. So that's why 3. It is here. I should put is a note is 2B over here. 2B. So 65, and then now it is 130. And consider the inventory at hand is 10 already. So real production, it is 120. This one equals to 130 subtract 10. So, and production order is 120. The order should be kind of like the order is planned. So these 120, you need 2 weeks to prepare. So here it is 2 weeks. This is, and in order to get this ready in the end of this week, you need to put the release order in the end of 3rd week. So this one equals to 120 here. And for the F, F is only associated with C. So F is associated with C, is 2C actually. So how many C's you produce? So C, let's see, I want to look at it over here. So F, you need 2 C's. A, B, C. C, we need 200, 100. Now that's why C equals to equals to 100 times and 100 times 2, so it is 200 over here. And because we have 5 pieces at hand, now you only need to receive 195. This 195 equals to 200 subtract 195. So in a planned order, receive, it is 195. And the order you want to release order. So C, this is F. F is lead time is 3 weeks. So F is 3 weeks. Now needs to put it in the 3rd week. End of the 3rd week equals to 195. The next level, it is D level. So these two numbers are associated with B and F. Look at the structure over here. So I need to look at the structure. D is associated with F, but this D is associated with B directly. We need to look at when is B ready. So B it is 65. So this 65 will need two like D's to make this B. So need 2 B's. That's why it is 130. 130 equals to 65. 65 times 2. So here we have 130. Net requirement 130, and order, planned order, you need to receive 130 as well. And needs 1 week lead time for D, so this is a 130 as well. This part are associated with the B requirement, 130, and this 130 Ds needs to be get ready by the end of phase week. And another one, this, because for each F needs 2 or 3, I think each F needs 2 Ds. So F equals to 2, D equals to 2F. And look at the F right now, it is 195. So this number equals to 390 equals to 195 times 2. Because we consider the inventory at hand, it is 10 already. You really want to order or produce is 390 minus 10. And should receive this much as well. And release order, it is 1 week, so equals to release order in the end of 2nd week. For G, this is 1F. F. So F it is 95. So 195. Here it is 195. There's no inventory at hand, So this one equals to 195 subtract 0. And this is a net requirement. And then you plan the order should receive this as much as well. And there are 2 weeks. 2 weeks lead time for G. So the next one for G, it is 195. Is place the order in the end of first week. Well, it is a practice very tedious and piece by piece. And the background information, it is the production lead time. So you need this lead time keep in mind over here. And also we need the structure of the product and should keep this in mind. So if this is too big or too complicated or you cannot see it, but you can add the notes to yourself, insert the comments, say, or this B equals to 1B needs 2A. So 1A, so here for like a C, and in order to produce 1A needs 3 C's. So something information to help you over here, and then the rest of them just according to the timelines to fill out this table. This table, it is compared with the first one, it is simple. And that's the second the table. We included the on-hand inventory. And the next one, and the next time we are going to consider is about how about we do not order like 200 pieces one time. We order the pieces according to the inventory level, economic order quantities. Next time will be even more complicated. So save this as your today's in-class practice and submit it to e-learning. Oh, next time will be, today's Thursday, right? And it will be next week, it is a Thanksgiving break. And you will be happy, and I hope you all enjoy your break. And after the break, we will continue with the complicated Excel work. Thank you. Thank you.